Hey, it's Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. Today's 22nd of December, and we've been granted a reprieve in the weather. So it is snowing a little bit right now, but it's it's not below zero, at least for now. I think we're supposed to have about a week here of in the 30s, so it's actually quite nice right now. It's real nice. And I'm out bedding the animals. You know, it's hard to do that when it's real cold. So you want to get that done when it's pleasant for me to do it. When the wind's blowing real bad, it's hard to bed because the stuff blows back in your face. But I just wanted to talk about bedding a little bit because and this pertains to all pigs, I think, not just Mangalitsa. But what we use is straw. And I think I've gone through this before. When you grow small grains, I don't, some other farmers do, like wheat, barley, oats, rye. The part that they harvest is the seeds that are at the top of it, on the head, it's called. And let's see if I can find some in this pile right here. They've gone through this, but it would kind of look like, well, that's the end of it. You can kind of see where it was. There was a head on there. But they go through with a combine and they take off all the heads, and that goes in a hopper on the combine, and then they offload that onto trucks and make bread and animal feeds and whatever else they're going to make out of it. But the part that's left over is this. It's the stalks. It's straw is what it is. These stalks, when they're dry, even when they're kind of moist, if I was to lay down in this right now, I would be in with some good friends, for one thing. These guys are all crashed out, but it's really, really warm. These are 5 sows and a boar. This is, I'll call it A group for now. Ooh, there's a good shot of the boar. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that good. His tusk is hanging out. Luckily, he's friendly. His name is Friendly. And he is friendly. But you can see that they're not interested in anything but being crashed out. They're nice and warm. They have their fur on the outside. And when it's cold, if they're not bedded properly, you will hear them because they're vying for position, you know. But right now, if we look at this, let me get my glove on. You can see they're not on top of each other. So, well, that one kind of is, but there's a little bit of space in between them. When it's real cold, they're right up on top of each other. No one wants to be on the outside. This gal right here, she's not too worried because she's got that nice straw under her that's reflecting her body heat back to her. And these guys have shelters right here. They could be in those shelters if they wanted to. But their instinct tells them that this is the place they want to be. And this was an old bale that I dumped down here yesterday. It's because they've kind of wallowed out a hole here. So I dumped it in there. It was an oldie. And they broke it apart and they're sleeping there. I've been putting good stuff up here. And I do that because I've got these huts set up here. And these girls are pregnant. So when they get ready, they'll start taking straw up to their nests, and they'll make a nest, and it'll be a good place for them to farrow. But straw, it can be a bad thing sometimes too, because let's say that you put all of this straw in your barn. Well, at some point it's got to come out of there. So that's a real hassle. But that's the beauty. More of the beauty of the Mangalitsa pig is I don't worry at all about bedding them out here. I paid for a load of straw yesterday. It's all I'll need for the winter. and it was 22 bales, and I don't pay much for it. I pay $30 for a big round bale delivered, and it's very, very good stuff. Now, where it's small grains, especially this stuff is rye, I'm not worried that it was sprayed. And when I mean spray, I'm talking about Roundup, or the name for that is glyphosate. Glyphosate is a defoliant or a herbicide. The reason why crops are genetically modified is so that you can spray that herbicide right on them and it won't affect them, but it'll kill everything around them. So if you see GMO corn out in the field and you see an airplane flying over and he sprays on it, you kind of wonder, well, how come it doesn't kill the corn? Because it's genetically modified, so it won't. But that glyphosate is probably more of a problem to folks than the genetically modified corn, in my opinion, and in what I've seen. I don't think it's the genetically modified corn. I think it's the glyphosate that they spray on it. It's everywhere here. It's in our water. It's in the, because all around me there's factory farms and they spray that stuff like it's going out of style. But this straw has not been sprayed. And generally, small grains are not sprayed, with the exception of wheat. Now they spray that. And it's the time of the year that wheat is harvested. What they found they can do is they can spray it. It will kill the wheat, and then the wheat stands there in the field dead and dries. And then they go through and they combine dry wheat instead of combining green wheat and then having to dry it. And so that's why everybody's gluten intolerant nowadays, and it's not really because they're intolerant of gluten, they're just intolerant of glyphosate. That's my opinion. I don't want to get anybody mad at me, but when we go to bed our animals, we're going to want to bed them with other than wheat straw, if you can help it. Because this bedding provides something for them to eat too. There's a lot of energy in the wheat, and they'll certainly eat it. But it's very, very important to keep the animals comfortable in the wintertime. When you're in the house and it's cold, they're out here and it's colder. And if we keep them bedded properly, we won't have any major issues. Their immediate health has a lot to do with how they're taken care of in the wintertime. Okay, Mark from Baker's Green Acres. Remember, anyone can farm.